Hey YouTube, DG here. Today I decided to do a movie review. I decided to go with first Transformers. From 2007. Written. It's a 2007 sci-fi action flick. Heck, one moment. Flick. Starring Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox, Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson. Who is that? Anthony Anderson, Kevin Dunn, Rosie Hunt, who was that other chick? Dunn, John Turturro, and we think here, Bernie Mac, rest in peace, and, Jon Voight. Voight with the voices of Pierre Cullen, Hugo Weaving. We won't link. It was released in. It was released in 2007, and it made about approximately, I'm checking here, $709 million award worldwide against a $150 million budget. And it's based on the classic toy line of the same name. Now, I'll tell you my experience. I honestly did not know about the Transformers franchise until that movie came out. And, I did see and I did enjoy it. When the sequel came out, I wanted to see if I didn't get the chance to. I didn't watch it until, like, 2 years ago. I did see Dark of the Moon at a free showing at the college. They were just showing free movies. They were showing of Dark of the Moon. That's when I saw that. And I did see Age of Extinction last night. Bumblebee did not see in theaters, but I got the other year. I liked it. But we're spreading this movie now. Okay. So this review was written by Michael Bay, the director of Bad Boys and Armageddon. And I think Pearl Harbor. Let me check if he did Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor. Was that Michael Bay? Yeah, it was Michael Bay. And Pearl Harbor. And the movie is some these cartoons, feel liberties. And I know Michael Bay's got some flack for the Transformers movies, thinking that they're racist, sexist, and a bunch of crude and a bunch of other crud. But still, in my opinion, they're kind of like junk food a little bit. Not good for you, but still pretty entertaining. So I'll get into the review here. So we get like a pro at the beginning with Optimus Prime, with Pierre Cullen from the original A show reprising his role, talking about the history of Cybertron, how it got destroyed during a nuclear war against the Decepticons, but during it, this cube thing called the Allspark was, and they both raced to find the thing, because apparently it could restore Cybertron or something. Given the intro. Well, one thing I really wish they did in the movie was use the original A's theme from the show, the do 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 do. That would have been a nice touch. But I'm a little annoyed Michael Bay didn't do that. That would have been fun. So we start the movie. Start this with the military. We focus on this one of the guy played by Josh Duhamel. I forgot the character's name, showing him and his crew at their base. Duhamel talking to his family via video chat. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's Skype because Skype's not the only video chat format. Like there's Facebook Messenger, Google Hangouts, or Chat, whatever they call it these days. So I don't think it was specifically Skype that he was on. And during the time military base, they find this helicopter coming in, and they asks the helicopter to identify itself, and the helicopter doesn't. And it turns out it was a similar helicopter that got blown a few days ago. And here's one thing he was confused with camping out for his later. Here, in this ship and a couple other vehicles, show this guy now is confused with why there's a guy in these second kind of vehicles, and I found why. That was actually just a hologram. So I was like, so it made sense because original kid was like, so there's actual people in these Decepticons. Then after 10 years later, they were just holograms. Like, oh, now that makes more sense. Yeah, so they do this little build up with this ship landing, and then when it lands, you hear briefly the transform effect, the chink as it turns into a Decepticon, I believe, named Blackout. And the thing pretty much just tears apart the military base. I think it created on the visual effects, though, that they were trying to make it look realistic, at least with a car transforming. And I must say they did a pretty fair milling job. It looked like a good effect, had some effect, and it meshed well with the practicality of the human actors. And it was a pretty good scene with the tearing down the base, and during it causes I think it caused a little black out. I haven't watched the film in like a year, so I have to re-look this. Actually, I did watch, I think, last year. They're having a showing of it at my local movie theater. I watched it with my dad. Did they tear up the base? Yep, they did. Back to the base, he fails, but before he can escape, he sends out another Decepticon called Scorponok, I believe. And then we get these two plots, one with the military, one with main character. Because then after that, we cut main character named Sam Witwicky, who I watched the E show and I found out that Sam Witwicky is supposed to be similar to Spike Witwicky, who's one of the two main human protagonists in the original 80s cartoon. But the Sam Witwicky plays Sheila Buff, and here's my issue with his character in the movie. It feels more like they're playing him for comic relief. Like, I'm not joking. Almost every scene I've seen him in these movies, they put him in like a humiliating scenario. Like, I'm gonna spoil a little bit here. There's one bit where this guy rips off his pants or his underwear, where he gets chased by dogs, where he's forced to ride his mom's bike, and it's nothing against it, but it's like, I feel like they're just playing his character for laughs. They're putting the most humiliating situations imaginable, and they're just kind of making him seem pathetic. Like, I was probably this character, but not seeing pathetic scenarios. Even the second film, there's one bit where he screams like a freaking little girl. I'm not kidding. He screams like a little girl. I'm like a copyright for this, but I'm just gonna try anyway. One moment. Like a girl. Like, it sounds like this here. Here, this. Like, my lord, are you trying to portray, Lord, like, you're really trying to humiliate your main character here. Like, what is Michael Bay's obsession with humiliating this kid? At least they gave Mark Wahlberg in the fourth, fifth film a little more dignity. I'll give him credit for that. So his first scene, he's doing show and tell, and I don't remember what, but he's trying to auction to his classmates these glasses from his great old man, with his great granddaddy, because apparently they're special or something, because they have these markings on them, but of course no one bites. So then afterward, he bribes his teacher into giving him a good grade so he can get a car. And his dad has what Kevin done. The only other two movies I've seen with him in are Godzilla, the Mythic Bride Godzilla, and Small Soldiers. Those are the only two movies, which ironically also involved toys, except real toys, not stuff based off of toys. So, they try to pull a prank by making things seem to a fancy dealership. So then he takes him to this dealership owned by Bernie Mac. One of his last film roles, rest in peace to Bernie Mac. I've seen other things, like I've seen him in Friday, and House Party 3, and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. So they meet Mac there, and we have this. And this is where the race humor starts to become apparent. Like, Mac gets into this argument, this little tries to say hi to his Nana or mother or something, and she flips him off, like some everything. I'm not sure all the implications. Like, I haven't studied enough of these cultures to know whether it's racist or not. So after that basis, we get introduced, well, to Bumblebee in his car form. Like, he zooms right up there, and then we have an interesting monologue. Mac telling Sam his mom about the car, saying that you don't pick the car picks you. When I first saw the trailer, I thought that he knew the car's an Autobot, but I guess that was just some bullcrap way of selling the car. Now I think of it. So, and I did kind of like how they had the Autobot logo like on the front wheel. But here's my issue with one of these movies. They have him like his voice thing is like broken, so he has to communicate through the radio, which I honestly never understood because he could talk in the cartoon. Like, I watched cartoon. He had voice in the cartoon. He wasn't mute. Or he didn't have to use a radio to talk. He could talk just fine. I don't know why in these movies they had to make him semi-mute. Like, so I think maybe the real part is just him actually just talking, using his own voice to combine the radio bits. But again, it's confusing. Like, why does it have to be a mute? And also because he's not a popular character. He's like the second most popular character in Optimus Prime in this franchise. Don't give me that crap. I did try getting on the toilet as a kid, but the problem was that I kept getting them all tangled up. Like, you get them to transform one way, but to get them back, it's almost impossible without getting all tangled up. That's one of my problems with those toys, why I stopped buying Transformers toys after a while. So yeah, he gets the car. So then, well, actually no, first Mac tries to sell for an expensive price. They decide they're not going to go for it because the price is expensive. So Bumblebee, because he wants real, for some reason really wants to be, but by Sam, he breaks one of the cars, and then he turns the radio up loud and like, well, like the same volume as God's voice in Ten Commandments, and destroys all the car windows around them, forcing Mac to lower the price to give them the cars so he can pay for the other cars. And then, we got Sam's mom, who is kind of annoying. Honestly, I think that's probably my second least favorite, most annoying parents in television, next to Ben 10's parents and Ben 10 Risks His Time in Alien Force. So, because for one thing, she's like always in his business, asking him weird questions, like if he's been squeezing his new doll or crap like that. And they have a Chihuahua, well, I don't remember what the name is, that they have to give pot to because of a condition. Like, I don't get the point of that. In this room, he's trying to sell the glasses on eBay. His username's Lays Man because we have to make it look like he's full of himself. Something. I will say LaBeouf's not a bad actor. It's not him that's probably most of the script. I thought they're trying to make it seem pathetic. So afterwards, he goes to impress this girl he likes named Michaela, played by Megan Fox, and I know, she was cast only because of her looks. I know about the whole event. They secretly filmed her chest when she was lifting the hood off the Bumblebee car. I'm fully aware of that, so I'm not gonna get into that. So then he goes here, she's with this buff guy, but then she immediately dumps the buff guy despite him not being on screen for like more than a few minutes because he called her Bunny. Bunny, at least he didn't call you the W. Was I like, why? At least he didn't call you the W word or, you know, the female dog word or anything like that. At least that, like, I felt it was a little harsh on her part because I'm like, the guy was just trying to be nice. At least if he didn't, I mean, you really going to, how you just say, hey, I appreciate you don't call me Bunny, not just dump him. I don't think he was trying to be condescending, but I don't know, just another cliche. Then she suddenly goes for Sam out of the blue, like she gets car with him, they start driving. Bumblebee tries to stoke the mood by turning on the radio. And Sam doesn't even know he's alive yet, which Yeah, and then I don't know if he faked this, but then we get the infamous scene when he's trying to fix the hood, and he pull the camera down on her bare chest. Yes, I know about all the story about how she only there for her looks. Yeah. Honestly, I haven't seen many movies made on Fox besides these Transformers movies and the Ninja Turtles new movies. Which, ironically, I got a couple action figures right here. Like, I even got her character right here she's playing in the movie. April O'Neil from the 80s. Okay, now back on topic. So, then after the date bit, we go back to the military where, because of Blackout failed to hack in another Decepticon named Frenzy, who I don't know much about the original show. I mean, I do my Twitter Frenzy. For some reason, I really liked it. I think it's because it was the one Decepticon movie that got the most screen time. Well, them who can turn into a big boombox, who's crawling around the place, looking, who's now sent in to hack the place, and we get like a very long extended montage of him going around talking to Cybertronian, hacking stuff, sucking up the data, trying to disguise himself. Like, yeah, it gets a little monotonous and tedious after a while. And then he goes into another Decepticon police car. This guy's named Barricade, who reports to Barricade that they found some of the details. And apparently the military gets upset they found that they hacked in, so one of these people work with them, a blonde girl, I forgot what her name is, my best girl, she decides to go to a friend of hers to see what the hack is about. Her friend is played by Anthony Anderson, which they do a bunch of black person and fat person jokes, as you probably guess. Yeah, and I've seen Anderson in other movies. Like, I see him in Big Mama's House, I see him in Scream 4, I see him in Agent Cody Banks 2, I see him in Kangaroo Jack. And yeah, that's how he seems to. And of course, he's a comic relief character, as he usually seems to be. Comic relief character. Like, Andy portraying him as, like, stereotypical, as living with his mother and his parents and stuff. And I'm so surprised how this girl knows him. Then meanwhile in the desert, just this crews walk through and the Scorpion guy attacks them. It's a little risk, but still kind of funny where you almost try and call the military so you can talk to, like, the Secretary of State, and maybe the whole bit he gets he calls the one guy who's, like, Middle Eastern, and apparently he asks him if he has a credit card, and I was like, no, over credit card. The guy's like, so your attitude is not going to speed it up any quicker. Can you please speak clearly into the mic? He's like, I'm in the middle of a war. That's freaking ridiculous. Then he goes up to one of the other guys trying to get his credit card put by Tyrese Gibson. It's in the left cheek of the pocket because, military guys have so many pockets on them. He gets it out and calls, like, the Secretary of State played by John Voight. Yes, pretty much understood. Plus, they find out some other stuff about Decepticon guys, such as they find video footage of Decepticon tearing down Mars rover, which is shown in the teaser trailer. Yet, they didn't investigate any further for some reason, which I, again, don't understand. So, if you're the government, you should go further. No, back to Sam. Yeah, so after the whole chaos, but yes, Bumblebee then starts to show signs of being alive by driving away and Sam having to catch him. And we have to, of course, make him seem like an idiot, showing him taking his phone out and trying to do like a little diary record thing. And saying, if I don't make it, Mom, Dad, my dog, blah, 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 that crap. Yep. And then he gets chased, but then he sees Bumblebee stand up and he's shot by it before being chased by a couple of guard dogs. For some, like, I don't remember they were guard, but they're like, who owns the dogs? Is that like a junkyard or something there? So we got chased by the dogs, and Bumblebee scares them off, and before he gets arrested. And then we have this bit where he's in prison, and then now in prison he's just in, like, the police station, and the guy is asking if he's on drugs, and he's acting like a weirdo. I don't get it. Is that supposed to be like a take on police? I have no idea what the point of making him a weirdo is. So then the next day, Sam doesn't want to take Bumblebee He's freaked out about it, so of course, he takes his mom's bike, which is, as you probably guessed, pink-coated. And also, meanwhile, apparently the Decepticon's looking for the glasses, and Frenzy found his glasses on eBay, so he's running from Bumblebee. He gets attacked by Barricade, and it's pretty cool seeing Barricade try to attack Sam, but for one thing, his menace loses a little bit when he says, "Are you using Lays Man? No." Like that just makes him lose menace when he has to say Lays Man, a Decepticon. But yeah, he's freaked out. Yeah, but then Bumblebee comes to the rescue, fights Barricade, and then Sam finds and I like how he doesn't have to take too long to convince. He just points out to Bumblebee and Barricade's fight, and she immediately believes him and goes, I'm like, well, at least we have to go through the whole process of trying to convince someone this is real. The old cliche. So the two get Bumblebee, he drives down to a junkyard where he continues to fight Barricade. And then it goes immediately to black, that cliche, when it goes immediately to nighttime out of the blue. And during their deal, Barricade shoots out Frenzy. And instead of Miguel trying to act different, he actually goes to find a saw or something while he's getting mangled by him. Like, how about we throw a rock or stone at him instead of leaving him to get mangled up? And Frenzy, because we need to embarrass Sam more, yanks off his pants or his underwear. Miguel ends up slamming him a bunch of times with a saw, the power saw, that for some reason isn't attended or locked up. Like, who leaves power tools unattended? Dead. Like, isn't that kind of dumb? I know what you're thinking. Where's the other Autobots point? They're coming, just wait. So, meanwhile, with the British Blonde and Anthony Anderson, they find out that the code that the little code that Frenzy sent up was actually alien, meaning there's extraterrestrials coming. Then Bumblebee explains himself to Kayla through the radio and stuff, so he teaches him how to drive, but then Kayla supposedly pisses him off by making a remark about how he's a piece of crap model, so he kicks him out, but then it turns out he comes back switching, upgrading the I think he's well, I don't remember what model he's supposed to be, like, I think the original character is supposed to be like a Volkswagen, like Herbie the Love Bug, but I don't remember completely. Let's see here. See, Bumblebee is a Chevrolet Camaro. And after that, we finally get to see the other Autobots. And yeah, it's Optimus Prime. And it's just pretty cool in the music is seeing them all crash down, take their forms, see people. And they're actually pretty good moments seeing all that stuff. Like, visual-wise, it's pretty good. So then Sammy explained to him the whole history of what's going on here. He also introduced to the other Autobots. For some reason, they're allowed to talk, but Bumblebee isn't. I don't know why. The other Autobots in the film are Jazz, voiced by Darius McCrary of Family Matters fame. Robert Ratchet, voiced by Robert Foxworth. Ironhide, voiced by Jess Harnell, the voice of Wacko Warner from Animaniacs. Yes. So they explain the deal. It turns out Sam's grandmother fell into some cave where he found Megatron, their arch enemy. Yes, this is where Megatron finally comes in, who's half a buried head in the snow. And apparently Megatron printed his glasses on, some stuff onto the glasses. And for some reason, his grandmother didn't tell his great-grandfather didn't tell his grandfather, or is there any of that to lead to him? And how does this make sense? Anyway, yeah, it's fluid. Apparently this thing called the Allspark to escape from the bad guys, and apparently the glasses have the markings to get to it or something. But Sam says the problem is the glasses are at his house, and this is where things get a little awkward. So they go to Sam's house, and Sam tries to tell them to hide and be quiet, but of course it doesn't work because their giant metal thing keep making messes, and he tells to hide. And they just transform into their trucks. Yeah, that's not inconspicuous. That's going to get screwed. So, like, it's just kind of ridiculous. These guys can't seem to understand what hiding means. Then because they accidentally had a power line cut the power, the parents come in. That's where the mom asked him about if he's been squeezing himself. Which I'm like, are you truly trying to put him in this? How many these ridiculous, embarrassing things you can put this character in? Like, really, just starting to become sad. But then lo and behold, the government finds out them. Then this FBI thing type guys, led by John Turturro, comes in, arrest the British girl and Anthony Anderson, and I admit there's one fight by Anthony Anderson's character's dad is trying to runs and breaks the sliding glass door as a SWAT officer tackles him into a swimming pool. I admit that was kind of funny. But then here we get annoyance. Apparently and we got John Turturro here hamming it up. Here are some really weird FBI guy asking his parents stupid questions and stuff, like if they have a fear or something, like, what's that have to do with what you're doing? So they end up saying, so they arrest Sam McHale and take him on a truck, separate him, they Sam from his parents, which I'm pretty sure is wrong. And then we get this, it's presented by Kayla, because I forgot to tell, there's always in the movie she was talking to Sam and about how she and her dad would fix cars, but it turns out that her dad stole those cars and fixed it. And she has a Jew record. And then he says something about criminals being hot, which is kind of wrong considering that he's in his 30s and she's a high school student. And he's saying that she's hot. Yeah, I think you could go to prison for that. For what I feel like the love relationship between the two, it's alright. I mean, definitely better than Twilight. Like, but I could use a little extra work, I will say. And we do get pretty good moment that Alba's try to save them, but unfortunately, the military come kidnap Bumblebee, and the Alba's don't seem to do anything to help Bumblebee, and makes the whole scene pointless. Like, what's the point of going to get captured again? And then Bumblebee is captured, and the other guys decide to just hang back. So he gets screwed. Yeah, not seem to hurt the military, just take him off the truck, you don't have to hurt anyone. Well, like, they put him in a net and yank him around. So then they take Sam McHale, British girl, and Anthony Anderson to this military base, and Sam tries to bargain with Turturro, but of course Turturro refuses to listen to him, and they show that they actually have Megatron there, all frozen up, and they have the Allspark to use it to power things on Earth, which pretty much means that they're doing illegal stuff with Megatron and the Allspark. Yeah. But unfortunately for them, Frenzy, who had been sliced earlier, apparently disguises himself as Michaela's BlackBerry phone, and then he gets out and continues his hacking, and he manages to tear the power to the place, releasing Megatron, and he calls up the other Decepticons, including Starscream, Bone Crusher, Blackout, Barricade, and Brawl. Well, and they all start heading there. So Megatron breaks out, and he, now voiced by Hugo Weaving, Elrond from Lord of the Rings / Driscoll from Crazy Universe Avengers / Smith in the Matrix trilogy. You get my sense / V and V for Vendetta / you get the gist. Breaks out, and honestly, it's kind of odd now considering that they have him out this late in the game. Like, he's only starts to go doing stuff midway through the movie. And then he gets out and counters Starscream, and the two have a brief bit of dialogue, but I wish it could have been a little more, considering in the original show, the two had a pretty bitter rivalry, because even though Starscream had command, he openly despised Megatron wanted to take over, which Megatron knew, and the two constantly bickered about it. Basically, Megatron just belittling for saying, "You failed me again" for some bullcrap. And because in the movie they decided that it would be kind of weird, Megatron turned into a gun, the other turned into an airplane, so he escapes. So eventually, after that shindig, Sam manages to finally convince the government, go after Josh Duhamel helps them convince them, and then they go with the other Autobots, Although Bumblebee's kind of injured from being from what the military guys did to him earlier. Or just for it. But then afterwards, Frenzy started attacking the military people, but they managed to defeat but Frenzy accidentally defeats himself by throwing a shuriken until it decapitates him. Honestly, I just realized something. Frenzy the only guy that has had the most screen time in the entire movie out of all the Decepticons, which is kind of weird. So then they go drive to battle. Bone Crusher, because he's an idiot, instead of waiting to get to the city, decides to prematurely take Optimus Prime in a decent action fight. But still, I think it was kind of pointless as well, where Optimus Prime fights Bone Crusher and defeats him. So yeah. And for some reason, Barricade doesn't in the fight, disappears. For some reason, which he's really saying it's the same cop, but then he disappears and you don't get to see him until 3. So you go in the city, and then Megatron and Prime start duking it out while Blackout and Brawl start going out. Start attacking the city from their ends. So we get this long, kind of boring, but it gets right fight between Decepticons and Autobots. We get a couple cool shots of Josh Duhamel taking out a couple of cons by shooting some grenades up their crotches. And we get Mikaela and Bumblebee teaming up to fight some Decepticons. Some pretty cool stuff. And we look at this bit where Sam is trying to escape with the Allspark, while Megatron and Tron's chasing him with Optimus Prime trying to defend him with a bunch of cliche dialogue towards each other. I remember that was pretty cliche, so yeah, the script wasn't written that well. So then Optimus Prime wants to put in him so he can sacrifice him to destroy it, and I'm like, if you put in someone's chest that destroys them, why not just put in Megatron's chest? And eventually, as if the movie read my mind, Sam does exactly what I was thinking and kills Megatron. And they defeat the other guys. Brawl gets Blackout both get killed, while Starscream actually gets away after taking out a few military fighters. So yeah, and after that, everyone's living their happy lives, da-di-da, and that's the movie. Yeah, my movie is probably not as detailed, but I'm doing my best here. So, I'm going to discuss a little bit of it. So, the acting is alright, not the best, could have been a little better there, but again, it's mostly the script's fault. The dialogue, yeah, it's not great, the dialogue really fails it. And yes, there's a lot of race stuff that's probably not good for it. And yeah, it's like different, but honestly, I consider it the better of the original movies. After that's when it kind of goes a little downhill, competitive. But still, the Autobots and the Decepticons were pretty cool visually and stuff. And even though they didn't capture the original show, do you want some trouble? There's one bit where I'm not joking. One of the Autobots starts pissing on a dog because the dog pissed on him first. Yeah, some raunch stuff in it. Yeah. So, anyway, that's my review. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you soon.